A father kills his son to save him. A girl begs the devil to stay and still gets left behind. Half the universe turns to dust with a snap. Here are the most brutal endings in modern movies and TV. Let's start with Breaking Bad, 2008. It ends exactly where it should, in the wreckage. Walter White comes home, not for family, not for redemption, for legacy. He admits it, he did it for himself. Because he was good at it, because he liked it. One last deal, one last gun, one last lie. He frees Jesse, mows down neo-Nazis, takes a bullet, bleeds out on the lab floor. It's not tragic, it's not heroic, it's chemistry. A reaction completed, a formula run dry, and a man who got what he built. The Avengers Infinity War 2018. It ends with dust. The Avengers come together, everyone shows up, everyone fights, Wakanda, Titan, space, Earth, and for a while it feels like it might work. Then the gauntlet closes, Thanos snaps, and it's over. No warning, no heroics, just silence. Bucky turns to ash. So does Wanda. T'Challa. Peter Parker begs Tony, and then he's gone too. There's no plan, no cliffhanger with hope. Just the villains sitting down to watch the sunrise while the rest of the universe crumbles. No cheers, no music. Just stunned silence and a black screen that felt like a funeral. The bad guy won. The heroes lost. And Marvel didn't even play music over the credits. Just black, quiet, ash. Then there's Game of Thrones. Once the greatest show on TV, then not. Daenerys goes from savior to tyrant in the space of a dragon breath. King's Landing turns to ash. Civilians burn, Tyrion quits. Jon kills her, and Bran becomes king. Because he had the best story. As if we didn't just watch that story fall flat on its face. The throne melts, the plot melts faster. Years of build-up rushed in a blur, and by the time the credits hit, what burned wasn't the city. It was goodwill. Joker, 2019. Arthur laughs. Gotham burns. He starts small, a clown, broken and ignored. Beaten on the street, mocked on TV, cut off from his meds. He kills 3 men on a subway and the city finally notices. He becomes a symbol, not of justice, of rage, of madness. Then he goes on live TV, faces the host who humiliated him, smiles and pulls the trigger. Riots erupt. The Waynes are gunned down, masks, sirens fire. And Arthur, he climbs on a car, blood on his face, smiling wide. It's not just his fall, it's the world's. He doesn't rise, we sink. The city doesn't rise in protest, it cheers. Because sometimes it's easier to worship the chaos than face the cause. 2018, Joe Goldberg gets away. Again. He stalks, he kills, he narrates like he's the hero. And for a while we believe him. He's charming, smart, tragic. But by the final season, the cracks show. Kate sees it, so does Bronte. She gets close, pretends to fall for him, then turns the tables. Their showdown is sharp, fast, and bloody. Joe ends up in prison, but there's no guilt, no growth, just one last voiceover blaming everyone but himself. No lesson, no guilt. Just a smile, and the story spinning again. Black Mirror, Shut Up and Dance starts small. A laptop, a camera, a boy making a mistake, and then a message. We saw what you did. From there, it spirals. Kenny runs, delivers a cake, steals cash, fights a stranger in the woods. Someone watches, laughs, pulls every string. At first, he seems like a victim. Quiet, shy, harmless. But then the truth drops. He wasn't being blackmailed for something innocent. It wasn't just shame, it was something darker. The ending doesn't twist. It turns your stomach. Kenny collapses. The police swarm. His secret's out. And the ones behind it, never caught. Never named. Just another screen. Another life wrecked for clicks. No redemption. No catharsis. Just silence. Midsommar 2019. Dani loses her family. Her sanity. She clings to Christian, a boyfriend already halfway gone. They travel to Sweden to a sun-drenched festival where grief wears flower crowns and sacrifice is tradition. One by one, their friends disappear. And then the final ritual. Someone must burn. Dani chooses Christian. He screams from inside a bear. She watches. And then she smiles. Crowned May Queen. Alone. Adored. Reborn in fire. It's not shadows that scare you. It's sunlight. Healing twisted into something holy. Dexter doesn't end. It vanishes. He loses Deborah, pulls the plug, drops her body in the ocean like so many others, then sails into a hurricane like he's chasing punishment. And for a moment it feels final. But then trees, cold, solitude, a logging camp, a beard. Dexter lives, sort of. No kills, no code. Just a ghost clocking in and out, dragging guilt behind him like a shadow. He's not hiding from justice. He's hiding from feeling anything at all, a non-ending, and somehow that stings worse than death. Shutter Island ends with absolute chaos. Teddy Daniels hunts a missing woman, a mystery on a storm-battered island. But the island isn't hiding her. It's hiding him. Because Teddy doesn't exist. He's Andrew Laeddis, a patient, a killer. A man broken so deeply the only way out is pretending he never got in. The whole thing, a role play. A last-ditch attempt to bring him back. It works, briefly. But he can't live with it. So he lets it go. Slips back into the lie. Maybe. Maybe not. Which would be worse? He asks. To live as a monster or die as a good man? He walks away, and the answer never comes. The Sopranos doesn't fade out. It vanishes. Tony, diner. Journey on the jukebox. Onion rings. The door opens. He looks up. Black. No gunshot. No goodbye. Just nothing. People thought their TVs broke. They didn't. That silence, that cut to black, that was the point. Because death doesn't come with a warning. Just silence. And maybe a song. Sometimes it just shows up mid-sentence, mid-bite, in a place that once felt safe and leaves everyone frozen, waiting for a moment that never comes. The Blackcoat's Daughter isn't about possession, it's about what comes after. Kat is left alone. Parents missing, snow falling. Something finds her. Dark, ancient. She gives it everything. Her will, her body, her soul. And then it leaves. Years later, she kills again. She offers more. Blood on the floor, heads in bags. She waits, but nothing comes. But the silence stays. The darkness doesn't answer. And in the final frame, she's on her knees sobbing in the snow, not because she's been left behind, but because not even the devil wants her anymore. 13 Reasons Why was always loud. But in the end, it goes quiet. Too quiet. Justin, abused, addicted, abandoned, tries to claw his way back. And it almost works. He gets clean, finds love, finds purpose. For a second, it feels like hope. And then he collapses. Meningitis. Rapid. Irreversible. There's no last-minute miracle, just IV drips, white sheets, and a boy slipping away. At his funeral, people cry. Because this wasn't karma. It wasn't justice. It was a system that failed him. Again and again. Sometimes effort just isn't enough. And that's the part that hurts the most. The Departed doesn't build tension, it snaps it. Billy Costigan, undercover in the mob, bleeds for the truth. Colin Sullivan, the mole in the police, hides in plain sight. Two lives circling, spiraling, exploding. Costigan gets the evidence. He wins. He steps into the elevator. And then, bang. Just like that, he's gone. No goodbye, no justice. Sullivan walks free, smiling, until he walks into his apartment and finds Dynam waiting. No speech, no warning, just one more bullet, one more corpse, and that rat on the balcony. Yeah, that's the ending. Blood, silence, and a question. Who really won? Night of the Living Dead, 1968. Ben makes it. He fights. He hides. He survives the undead, the panic, the night. He's still standing when the sun rises. Then a shot rings out. No hesitation. No identification. A white militia sees him and pulls the trigger. They burn his body. Toss him on the fire with the rest of the monsters. It was 1968. A black man survives the end of the world, only to be killed by the living. It's not just a horror ending, it's the whole point. Now, The Mist. It starts like survival. A father, a son, a grocery store full of strangers, creatures in the fog, panic, religion, flares, then escape. But the car runs dry. The monsters don't show. So David makes a choice. 4 bullets, 4 goodbyes. His son goes last. And then headlights, soldiers, flamethrowers, rescue. The fog lifts, the help comes, and David, he screams. Not because the monsters came, but because they didn't. $1 Million Baby doesn't pull the rug out. It pulls the floor. Maggie fights, trains, bleeds, earns every round, then takes a cheap shot, hits the stool, breaks her neck, and that's where the real story begins. She loses her leg, her smile, her will. She asks Frankie to help her end it. She begs him. He says no, then yes. Mo Quishley, he tells her, my blood, my darling. Then he ends it. No gold, no crowd, just mercy, and a whisper of goodbye. Orphan starts like a scare. Esther is perfect. Sweet, smart, polite, maybe too perfect. Because she's not a child. She's a 33-year-old woman. With a growth disorder and a pattern. She doesn't just lie. She hunts, seduces, kills. And the twist isn't just shocking, it's surgical. She doesn't trick people in spite of how she looks, she tricks them because of it. They see innocence, and she wears it like a mask. By the time the mask slips, it's too late. And the monster, she's already won. Logan is all about goodbye. No costumes, no catchphrases, just blood. Rust, regret. Logan's dying. Charles is slipping. Mutants are gone. And then comes Laura. His daughter, his mirror, his mess. He doesn't want to care. But he does. And when the end comes, he doesn't run. He fights, claws out. Rage on full display. Then quiet. Her hand in his breath leaving. So this is what it feels like, she says. It's not pain, it's love. That's what kills you. And that's the real ending. Not just of Wolverine, but of the man who never thought he deserved to feel whole. Thanks for watching. Tell us which ending still wrecks you and which one you never saw coming. See you next time.